There comes a moment in life when you realize that not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some people will leave, some will misunderstand you, some will only believe in you when the evidence of your success is impossible to ignore. And for a while, that silence around you may feel like rejection. But what if it is not rejection? What if it is preparation? What if the road becoming empty is not life taking something from you, but life giving you room to become someone you have never been before? Walk alone, not because you hate people, not because you believe you are better than anyone else. Walk alone because there are seasons when your growth requires silence. There are dreams that cannot survive constant explanation. There are versions of yourself that can only be discovered when you stop waiting for someone else to validate your direction. When nobody is clapping, keep going. When nobody understands the vision, keep building. When the results are slow, keep showing up. Because discipline is not what you do when you feel inspired. Discipline is what remains when inspiration disappears. You may not see the transformation today. You may wake up tomorrow and still feel uncertain. You may look at your life and wonder whether all this effort is worth it. But every quiet choice is shaping you. Every time you refuse to quit, you are becoming stronger. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you are building a foundation that success can stand upon. Do not be afraid of the lonely road. Sometimes the lonely road is where your voice becomes clear. It is where you stop performing for the world and start becoming honest with yourself. It is where you learn that you do not need permission to change your life. So if you are walking through a season where the crowd has disappeared, do not panic. Walk, build, learn, discipline yourself, and become so deeply committed to your growth that you no longer need an audience to believe in who you are becoming, because the greatest version of you may be waiting on the other side of the moment when you finally decide to walk. Alone, there is a kind of loneliness that arrives when you begin to change. It does not always come because people have abandoned you. Sometimes it comes because the person you are becoming no longer fits comfortably inside the life you once accepted. The conversations that once satisfied you may begin to feel empty. The habits you once defended may begin to feel like chains. The places where you once felt understood may suddenly feel too small. And in that unfamiliar space, you may wonder whether you are losing yourself when, in truth, you are finally beginning to find yourself. Walking alone does not mean walking without love. It means learning how to move forward even when nobody is holding your hand. It means discovering that your direction cannot always depend on the approval of others. There will be moments when you must make a decision and nobody around you will understand it. You will have to choose discipline when your friends choose comfort. You will have to choose patience when everyone else wants immediate results. You will have to keep believing in something that has not yet become visible. That is where strength begins. When you stop depending on constant reassurance, you begin to hear your own voice. You begin to recognize what you truly want instead of what you were taught to want. You begin to understand that your worth was never determined by how many people stayed beside you. Some people are meant to accompany you for a chapter, not the entire story. Their departure may hurt, but their absence does not have to become the end of yours. There is power in learning to sit with yourself. In the quiet, you meet the thoughts you have been avoiding. You confront the fears you disguised as excuses. You see the habits that have kept you from becoming who you could be. And once you see them, you can begin to change them. The world may not notice that change at first. Nobody may congratulate you for waking up early, keeping your promises to yourself, controlling your reactions, studying when you would rather rest, or continuing after disappointment. But those invisible victories are not insignificant. They are the bricks from which a different life is built. Do not confuse being alone with being lost. Sometimes being alone is the clearest evidence that you have stopped following the crowd. Sometimes the silence around you is creating the space necessary for your character to become stronger. You do not need everyone to understand your journey. You need the courage to understand why you are on it, so let the road become quiet if it must. Let some people walk away, let some doors close. Let the old version of you become unfamiliar. Keep moving, keep learning, keep building, and keep becoming. Because there are seasons when walking alone is not a punishment but a powerful invitation to discover how strong you can become when you finally learn to stand on your own feet and trust the person you are. Building within yourself. There is a difference between wanting success and being willing to become the person who can carry it. Many people want the result, but they do not want the repetition. They want recognition, but they do not want the quiet years when nobody is watching. They want the finished picture, but they do not want to endure the empty canvas. Yet real growth rarely happens in front of an audience. It happens in the ordinary moments when you choose to continue, even though there is no applause waiting for you. Discipline begins when motivation ends. Motivation can make you excited in the morning, but discipline is what gets you moving when the excitement has disappeared. There will be days when you do not feel confident. There will be mornings when your dream feels too distant. There will be moments when you question whether your effort is producing anything at all. Those are the moments that reveal who you are becoming. Anyone can work when they feel inspired. The deeper transformation happens when you keep working without inspiration. You must learn to respect the small promises you make to yourself. If you tell yourself that you will study, study. If you decide to improve your craft, practice. If you promise yourself that you will stop wasting your time, protect your time. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your trust in yourself. And when you repeatedly break those promises, you teach yourself that your own word cannot be trusted. That is why discipline is more than a schedule. It is a relationship with yourself. You are telling yourself, through your actions, that your future matters. You are saying that the person you want to become deserves more than temporary comfort. You are choosing something greater than the pleasure of today. And sometimes that choice will be lonely because other people may not understand why you are sacrificing what feels good now for something that has not arrived yet. Do not become discouraged because nobody notices. The seed does not receive applause while it is underground. The foundation of a building is not admired the way the finished building is admired. Yet without the hidden work, nothing lasting can rise. Your unseen effort matters. The hours nobody sees matter. The failures nobody knows about matter. The decision to begin again after disappointment matters. The restraint you show when anger wants to control you matters. The courage to keep learning when you feel behind matters. These moments may seem insignificant individually, but together they become the architecture of your character. And eventually, the world may notice the results. People may call you successful. They may admire your confidence, your strength, your discipline, your achievements. But by then, you will understand something they may never see. Success was not created on the day people applauded you. It was created on all those earlier days, when you had every reason to stop and still chose to continue. So stop measuring your progress by attention. Stop asking whether people are watching. Stop needing everyone to understand what you are building. Your responsibility is not to impress the crowd. It is to become someone you can respect when you are alone with your own reflection. Because the strongest life is built quietly, deliberately, and patiently by the person who keeps showing up long before anyone else believes the future is possible.